Live from the 93.7 The Ticket studios in the heart of Lincoln, America, this is Inside the Huddle with Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Fires a pass, and it's intercepted by the Huskers at the 25, Jay Foreman. And Foreman takes it down to the 19-yard line of Oklahoma. Another big play by the Blackshirts.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Sponsored by Advanced Medical Imaging.
Good morning. Another Sunday. I know we've been pump faking people. Inside the Huddle, we'll have a more legitimate times because, Harrison, we've been doing big things, climbing some mountains. I think, Harrison, what do they say? Climbing a flat mountain is sometimes hard to do. Is that what right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
it sounds right.
You're too young for that. Anyways, this is Inside the Huddle with Jay Foreman, brought to you by Advanced Medical Imaging, 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. All your imaging needs, pain needs, and also we'll give you a game plan for some relief. With that being said, we're going to touch on the NFL playoffs. A little wrap up. The late game was Green Bay Packers on the road at San Francisco. And then before that was my Houston Texans on the road. I think it's to the Crescent City of Baltimore. And both road teams lost. I would say probably we'll start with the early game. Houston on the road at Baltimore. Really, to be honest with you, Harrison, being a road team with a rookie quarterback, probably a roster that's not even close as talented as Baltimore from stature-wise, experience-wise. You got to think you got C.J. Stroud, you got Will Anderson Jr., you got Stingley, who's in his second or third year, but he missed 1 year because of injury. And then like Michi, the receiver, Collins had to step up because another rookie receiver, Tank Dell, went on into reserve. And you had Dallas Schultz, who actually has been a big surprise. And so to go on the road and withstand the first barrage of Baltimore coming out a week rested, and then to go into halftime with a huge punt return and tied 10-10. There's no other way that you would draw it up besides obviously being up like 21-0 and just waiting for the second half to finish. You're not going to go on the road and most likely and dominate Baltimore. I think their defense, everybody thinks of Baltimore's defense. You think of the great defense that Ray Lewis and led by Marvin Lewis, Ray Lewis and company, one of the best, if not the best of all time. You're like, okay, well, if it's not that, then it's not a good defense. Listen, the Baltimore Ravens, if they didn't lead the league in sacks, they were up there in the top three. They have phenomenal players at every single level. They have a trending towards a generational safety in Kyle Hamilton, excuse me. They got Patrick Queen and Raekwon Smith and middle linebackers. So it's kind of the perfect, blend of physicalness, speed, toughness, and then you have the ultimate cover linebacker going against C.J. Stroud. Obviously just learning, and obviously had his first playoff win. So then when you look at it, being 10-10, and then the good teams, Harrison, in the playoffs are able to go into halftime, adjust, let that go, and then find a way to put the foot on the gas. And that's exactly what Baltimore did. Now, look, there were some, let's just say, suspect at best calls in that first drive, as far as from the refs and situations. And then
the chain gang's been off
chain
all
gang.
Playoffs.
The one that was huge was when the CJ Stroud and those guys, they stopped them, came back, and they kind of did like a reverse kind of double pass, and it went to Singletary. Yeah. And he got hit, and then the defender was underneath him,
and he rolled forward.
Should have been a first down. It was 2 yards short. Baltimore stops him. All momentum gone. Now, does that mean that Houston wins? No, but those are the type of things that really hurt a young team that has to have momentum. This isn't an overly talented team. Baltimore is extremely talented. Lamar Jackson obviously showed why he is on his way to have his second MVP in 6 years. So for everybody out there that didn't think he could play quarterback, and I will say this again, he was a silent commit to Nebraska, was on his way, coaching change, obviously, rightfully so, end up at where he needs to be at. But he is a legit quarterback. He's gotten better in the pocket, as far as being able to pass and make adjustments. And I think Baltimore showed their championship mentality. Ended up winning 31-10. I think the best play for Lamar Jackson was likely in the first half, was open, and Petrie, the defender for the Texans, broke it up. And he said, "Hey, man, he's like, hey, I'm 6'6", 6'6 and a half, 6'7". This guy's 6'1". Get it up higher." Lamar Jackson said, "I got you," right? The humility of him, the humbleness of him, and the poise of him is a lot different than years past, because you expect Baltimore to dookie down their leg.
Mm-hmm.
And to get it again, what do? Put it in a place that only, in his catch radius. That's what you like to see if you're a Baltimore Ravens fan. Obviously, I'm a Houston Texans fan. They go down, but again, a great year, great starting point for DeMeco Ryans and that franchise. They got it from ownership, GM, head coach, generational quarterback, defensive guys. Continue along this path. Houston's going to give people a lot of problems, but Baltimore pulls through. They're going to be a problem for whoever they face after the Buffalo Bills or Kansas City winner next week. They in some trouble because them dudes is for real. And then the nightcap, which I think has probably been one of the better games of the playoffs, was the Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love on the road after beating Dallas pretty easily last weekend, sending shockwaves through the playoffs. And the 49ers were playing at home, and this is the year for the 49ers, home field advantage, so forth and so on. And in short, before we go to break and get back on it, I just felt like Green Bay just let that one go. Green Bay was the better team.
You think so?
Oh, no, so. I mean, just first of all, Green Bay had total control of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what's so interesting. This is what was great about it, doing Inside the Huddle and whether it's Husker football or college football or anything. One play that happens, I guess, like in the middle of a game that seems like minute, can change the whole game, complexity of the game. Green Bay was up 21-14.
Mm-hmm.
They have the ball. Just stopped 49ers. 49ers blitzed a little bit, picked up relatively good by Green Bay, right? Jordan Love had number 85 just coming across the middle, right? A little high, and behind him, tip drill. I'm sure you heard that before, right? Guess what? Greenlaw gets it. 49ers tie the game up. That play right there was what lost the game. Number one, it was a third down that they could have had to extend the drive. So that's time off the clock. Number two, it's a turnover, right? So then let's just say conservatively, Green Bay would have got 3 points. Now it's a 2-score game. Well, it's a 10-point swing because now 49ers went and tied the game. Gave them momentum. They're at home.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. And then they were able to get Jordan Love flustered. Now, granted, there was other opportunities, but you put a lot of pressure on your defense that set you up to essentially ice the game. That's like a double negative. You know what I'm saying? Because turnovers in the playoffs are so crucial. They are, man. I mean, they can literally.
That's been the Cowboys.
Right.
With Prescott. That's why I felt like that momentum. I know it was early, but the completion wise, he was okay.
Right.
The huge momentum swing, like
you
you're
seen
saying.
Harrison? How many times we went to the Husker game? Things are going good. And then next thing you know, you throw it to a dude, there is nowhere in sight.
Yeah, it's been like that. 2018. I can count a play just about every game.
Right. But then it just takes the whole momentum, and imagine playing, right? Because you're playing like this isn't week 8 and we're playing next week, guaranteed. Win or go home. Things change. That Green Bay locker room, everybody, that's going to be the last time a lot of those guys see each other. Maybe in their life, to be honest with you. There's guys I play with I'll never see again.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge, that's a huge deal. You might not never see him again. Imagine you never see me again, Harris. Would that make you?
I'd be upset, Jay.
Yeah, you
might quit my job right here.
You sure? I don't. That's
go
not
to 16-20.
Anyways, 49ers found a way to win. You got to give them credit. Brock Purdy did not look good. He is gonna have to find some magic, because if he plays like this next week, regardless of who they play, they will lose. But they pulled it through. Championship mentality. Ugly win is better than an ugly loss. 24-21, 49ers sealed it at home with another linebacker, Dre Greenlaw, interception, player of the game. But we're going to take a quick break, come back, talk about the 2 games today, Obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs at Buffalo. That's going to be the game.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. Anyways, Jay Foreman, Advanced Medical Imaging. We'll be right back. This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Center. Witness world-class talent, including national champions and Olympians. Don't wait. Secure your single match tickets today at supernovas.com and become a part of history.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
You can get diesel anywhere, but what about
Atomic Diesel?
That comes from Stern. Atomic Diesel is your solution to all your cold weather problems. Prevent clogged fuel filters, increase your fuel economy, and save money with
Atomic Diesel.
Contact Roger at Stern today by calling 1-800-477-2744 to see how
Atomic Diesel
and the rest of their line of fuels and lubricants can keep your operation running at max capacity.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Old School with DP and J.
DPGM, what are you going to do to Caleb Williams? What are you going to do? You going to draft him?
No.
You're not going to draft him?
No, I don't. Here's my thing. I don't want anybody going. I'm not going to bring poison into my program because that's what it would be. He's letting you know he's poison. He's venom. Why would I put poison in my own soup?
Maybe you think you're a mongoose. You can't.
I have zero.
You're a mongoose. You can take the Cobra venom.
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to Inside the Huddle, sponsored by Advanced Medical Imaging. Here is your host, Jay Foreman.
What up? We're back. Second segment. Jay Foreman, Inside the Huddle, brought to you by Advanced Medical Imaging, 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. Be on the lookout on Old School. We're gonna have either Dr. Razdan or Dr. Finn in, and they're always good to have in. so we could just discuss in depth from a obviously doctor's perspective, different type of injuries. Obviously, depending on ones, many that I've had and still deal with, or the ones that you might see happen in a any sport. I think it's always good to get the doctor's perspective. Now, granted, they're a doctor. Nobody's perfect, and the human body is not. But we have plenty of doctors on the internet. The worst thing you could get on Harrison when you get a little sniffle,
WebMD.
WebMD.
Yeah, you might think you're dying.
Oh my gosh, it's. I mean, it should be just doom and gloom MD. Fingernail, die, everything. Stub your toe, dead.
Yeah, if you're anxious about that, don't bother.
Oh, I've lost plenty in license plate. Trust me. Anyways, on to the games today. Obviously, you got the
got Baker Mania today.
Yeah, Tampa Bay Bucks on the road at Detroit. I think Detroit I think they always say a team that is been in that situation, like where you've lost, you haven't been to the playoffs, is just Detroit's been through a lot. I mean, obviously, with the Superdome financially, just the city of Detroit and I think Ford moving out of Detroit. It just hasn't been.
Pistons are hard to watch.
They're hot garbage, and they should be a lot better. They went through a lot, but Dan Campbell, as odd as people think is his opening presser was, I knew he was a good coach because he's passionate and he's been blessed to be coached by some really good coaches. You gotta think Tom Coughlin, Bill Parcells, Sean Payton, and they all believed in him. And you saw what he did when he was the interim coach with the Dolphins, how he changed things. And so Detroit had a big hump to get over. It's not only a home game, so you could get a little bit distracted. Everybody's patting you on the back 2 weeks after you get shafted by the missed call down there in Dallas. Oddly enough, they do, because the big thing was if they would have won that game, they would have been the number 2 seed, guaranteed to home games. You might not want to play Green Bay, so they actually probably worked out for them. But they played the next hottest team in the Rams with Matthew Stafford coming back. They're able to get through the hump. Now they got a little bit of a sigh of relief. Now they're at home again, facing another hot quarterback. I do think Detroit wins this game, even though Tampa beat the brakes off Philly. I still feel like it was not as clean. I'm not a true believer in Tampa. Number one, they don't have a number one pass rusher. So you're going to need that against Detroit, and they have a big physical offensive line. Number two, I think Tampa has to scheme up to stop the run. So Montgomery and Gibbs are going to give them a ton of problems. And then Carl Davis on the outside has been up and down. He was locked down against Philly, but Brown didn't play. So that's easier to play against or easier to play against Smith. And Smith got off, right? Philly they quit 3 weeks ago. I can't believe they did that. It's just because when they get my old and beat up like me, there's gonna be a lot of regret in that locker room, in that organization, because
they're losing Jason. I'll tell you that much. I'd be very surprised if he announce yet.
He probably told his teammates he hasn't officially done it. And obviously he's a big media star. He's going to do it that way to make he's going to gain off of it. But all those guys that they brought back, they wanted to run it back, just barely losing the Super Bowl, and they're one holding call in their mind potentially last year from a Super Bowl. When times got tough after starting 10-1, you finished 1-6. You quit, dude. That's probably the most talented roster in the league. Now Tampa beat them at home, beat the brakes off them too.
Yeah, they gave up 9 points.
Yeah,
to 32, 90-32.
Yeah. And Philly got some hollow yards. They got that Bill Callahan stat stuffer. They go on the road again up there in Detroit. I think Detroit has too much. Detroit's defense plays better at home, obviously. I think Detroit gets in the NFC Championship out there in San Francisco. It'd be good because, Aaron Glenn's a really good friend of mine. He's up for some head coaching jobs. I respect him immensely. He taught me a lot about being a pro and how to carry yourself on and off the field. Having one thing, Aaron Glenn, because he's a little bit smaller corner, he taught me conviction. And you can see it with the way he coaches. And Dan Campbell was a teammate of his in Dallas, and obviously look at him now. Now on to the game of the day. That's why we're going to spend most time. We're going to spend we got 8 minutes. Kansas City Chiefs coming to Orchard Park It might be. Can you check the weather report up there, Harrison?
Yeah. It's in Buffalo, right?
Oh, yeah. In Orchard Park. If you haven't ever been able to go to a game, Harrison, you need to go and experience it. The wind chill should be there, and they got about 80 feet of snow.
Yeah, they got about a high of 20 degrees today, or 25. So it's actually not too miserable, but there's a chance of precipitation about 25. They're going to be sitting around 25 at game time for kickoff.
That's perfect.
Let me see if there's wind. You got not too windy though, only about 10-mile-an-hour winds.
Oh yeah. So then that puts you right at 0. Yeah. I'm telling you, there will be Buffalo Bills Mafia out there tailgating. Actually, I saw somebody online he's like, "Oh, I never tailgated at midnight." It was 12:15. They getting this. Listen, they gonna go all day. They got staying power like no other. Wings and beer, Molson lights are just gonna be, at the utmost.
I got utmost respect for Bills Mafia at this point. They got to be. It's hard not to argue that's the number one fan base at times. Did you see the line they had? They're paying people $20 an hour to move snow out of the stadium.
Yeah,
the line just kept going. You think like, yeah, we'll get like 20 odd some people. Like that line just kept going.
The one thing that helped me, I think, survive in the NFL, and that's what you're doing the first couple of years, especially being a late round draft choice, is being in Buffalo. It's a lot like Lincoln, or was a lot like Lincoln. Everything's centered around the Buffalo Bills. Ralph Wilson was very smart, and obviously bringing a AFC team there, and then obviously when they joined the NFL, it became one of the blue blood or stalwart franchises. But everybody is pulling for the Buffalo Bills, and I'm talking about everybody.
Yeah, I am. I don't think there's a lot of people root for the Chiefs today.
Well, Chiefs fans are you came out of nowhere. You know how many times Chiefs have let the whole nation down? You had Joe Montana and tricked it off. There was times that Chiefs would get to the AFC playoffs and run through the AFC West with Steve DeBerg. Nothing against Steve DeBerg as your starting quarterback. You wasted a lot of time. Stop acting like the Chiefs are just like, and you know what? You drafted Patrick Mahomes at number 12. It isn't, or whatever it was. It wasn't like you thought you got lucky.
Yeah.
You kind of got like the Patriots and Tom Brady. So pump the brakes.
That's like a lot of those drafts. I hate that because you see that a lot where teams get lucky and they wouldn't have drafted that guy.
Right.
They just happen to
it's just
slide down the list and he's the one left.
Right. It's like the San Diego Chargers, or it is like you draft Drew Brees in the second round. You think he's garbage. You draft Phillip Rivers. Now you trade away a Hall of Fame quarterback. Drew Brees and Sean Payton's lucky because Sean Payton wouldn't be coaching at Denver if he didn't take a flyer on Drew Brees, who had a broken shoulder. So much that Nick Saban, it's like a domino effect. So much that Nick Saban, because whoever decided to take Dante Culpepper with a blown out knee and Drew Brees with a bad shoulder, Nick Saban's at Alabama. And that affected his career. That's what he said. He said, once I couldn't get a quarterback, I'm done. So, back to the Chiefs and Buffalo, I think the home field advantage, will help. I think this is a perfect time for Buffalo to take advantage of it because the Chiefs don't have Tyreek Hill. The Chiefs have struggled at times. Mahomes has turned the ball over at a higher rate, even though they played well, last week. I didn't feel like it was anything extraordinary. But the one thing about the Chiefs that's a little bit different than years past, their defense is legit, and it's been legit from it. They kind of took off. Steve Spagnuolo's defense usually get better as the season goes on. They start out slow, and that's what Andy Reid is a great coach. He has confidence and knows what he can do. But this defense has been consistent and really has been the bell cow for this team. It's allowed the transition from not having Tyreek Hill or a legit receivers, because last year when they won the Super Bowl, Juju Smith-Schuster played really well. Valdez-Scantling was really good. They've had a lot of issues this year. With like Cy Moore and all those guys, they haven't stepped up. And obviously, Kadarius Toney is in his drops, even though he's not playing today, is really affected and lost a lot of games. Now, Rasheed Rice is stepped up, and he stepped up last week, but he's a rookie, and he's playing on the road against Buffalo. And so I think Buffalo has the advantage, but this game is going to come down to turnovers. It's not going to be who can, like the duels of the great games, against Buffalo and Kansas City, where you just Patrick Mahomes, whoever had it last. It's going to come down to what quarterback or what offense punches himself in the face. Because if Buffalo can be consistent enough and run the ball just good enough to keep Kansas City's offense on the sidelines and keep them all balanced, being at home, they can win this game relatively easily. Because they'll be able to get down to the red zone. The problem with Buffalo's offense has always been decision making and finishing drives in the red zone, right?
I like it a lot better with the new OC.
I do.
I think you guys fixed a lot of those problems.
Well, I do it because he's actually ran the ball, and I'll use this word again, with conviction. He didn't run it just because, all right, I got to call a run play.
Mm-hmm.
He was just trying to establish the line of scrimmage, and that's how you win in the playoffs. Offense and defensive line, and especially the offensive line, with the ability to run the ball, because you'll be able to control the clock, control possessions, and possessions, whether you get more or less, lead to more opportunities to score. So I am going to pick the Buffalo Bills, and I am going to give the Kansas City Chiefs every bit of hell that I can. And here's why. Because the Chiefs fans, here's one thing about Chiefs fans is, and I don't know if you're a Chiefs fan or not, Harrison.
No, I can't stand them.
Is when they win, they'll call you up and be like, "Hey, is your world better because my team won?"
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. Like, great that the Chiefs won, and I'm a big Patrick Mahomes fan. I love Andy Reid. I like the Chiefs. I don't love the Chiefs, but they are definitely becoming annoying because they act like they are the Patriots. You are not the Patriots yet.
There's been a lot of extracurricular help that isn't necessarily Chiefs' fault, but like the Jackson Mahomes, the Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of stuff that they're just not in control of that hasn't helped their cause.
Yeah, and that, listen, man. I mean, look, Travis Kelce outkicked his coverage, and he isn't the first football player to date a iconic figure. Was it Tony Romo? Was Tony Romo with Jessica Simpson?
That might be, yeah.
And then he dated somebody else, and then they blamed it on Jessica Simpson. Remember, they kept losing. And I'm sure there's been other people like, well, look at Russell Wilson. I mean, he's married to Sierra, so I mean, he's not the first, not the last. I just think right now the NFL ran with it, and they should. It brought viewership to the game and put money in their pocket. So, and Travis Kelce's jersey sales went up like 8,000%.
Oh yeah.
So the Swifties represented. Travis Kelce had a great business decision, but on the field, it hasn't been the same dominant Hall of Fame tight end. Now, what hurts Buffalo defensively is Matt Milano has been out all season, and Bernard hurt his ankle last week against Pittsburgh. So if he's able to play, because he's very fast and he can help, against Kelce, that'd be great. Now, I will tell you like that. They picked up a linebacker. His last name is Klein. And this is the great thing about this. This is a great story in the NFL. He was packing up his RV to go on a family vacation, probably to figure out if he wants to keep playing. AJ Klein. The only bad thing about him is that he went to the University of Iowa. Yeah. So he has a little bit of body odor because everybody from Iowa State. I'm just playing. He had played for Sean McDermott and played in Buffalo, and sometimes your salary cap number is too high and they want to save money at your position. Well, he had obviously had enough good graces that they picked him up. He comes in, Bernard gets hurt, so he's just listen. I've been in those positions, and not this late, but where you play half the season, you're going to play in special teams. Like, I knew the defense, but I know as long as nobody get hurt, I'm only going to play like 5 plays or something on defense, and I got like 10 plays on special teams. I could do that in my sleep. I'm going to give me 1 or 2 special teams tackles, do what I need to do, and I'm good. Well, homeboy, AJ Klein, came right from the crib, and I bet you he ain't been working out. He stepped up because Bernard, and he led the team in tackles. When
did he get picked up?
That week.
Okay, hold up.
He didn't he? Because I saw Josh Allen talking about. They say he just literally got picked up off the street. AJ Klein.
How do you spell Klein?
KL.
Okay.
EIN.
Yeah, let's figure this out.
Yeah. When did Buffalo pick him up? Look at him. He looked like he'd been drinking beer. He looked like he'd been in one of my garage parties.
Elevated from the practice squad Saturday, a day before hosting KC in the divisional round playoff.
See? There you go. He's ready to go. That's what you got to do. Listen, Harrison, there's an old saying. You stay ready, you don't got to get ready. But he was ready to go on vacation. So big up for AJ Klein just on that alone. I think he'll play well. He's a veteran. He knows what to do. I'm picking Buffalo today. I think it's going to be a tough game, though. But I think Buffalo is going to break through and get their chance and be able to try to go to Baltimore and try to get a Super Bowl.
And I agree with Nyla on this one. The Chiefs, when they win, are as bad as the Cowboys when they win. I can agree.
And the only thing, here's the difference. is the Chiefs actually win, right? Where the Cowboys celebrated winning the NFC East like it was the Super Bowl. After that, they was like, all right, we're done.
Mm-hmm.
I know Pete Ferguson.
I know. I'm hoping we have the audio. I'm waiting for his head to turn. But.
But I mean, Cowboy fans are just. I mean, I played in Houston. Dallas fans are out of control. I mean, they really take. I mean, I just never seen it, but anything like that. But
they remind me of the Lakers. Anytime like there's any free agent, they're gonna call out, "Oh, L.A.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, he's a free agent.
Yeah.
Oh, he's coming to L.A."
Yeah.
The same thing with the Cowboys. I feel like they get that same kind of thing. Anyone's free agent, they're like, "Oh, everyone wants to be a Cowboy."
Coach, and then Jerry Jones says, "You know what? I'm gonna keep this dude that can't win a playoff game at home." And so, hey, listen, Dallas Cowboys is an iconic franchise.
Back on the treadmill. Here we go.
Yeah, they have not every year. Somebody told me that Dallas Cowboys is kind of like Nebraska. It was really good a long time ago, and we got the fan, but we're not as bad. But the Chiefs fans are annoying.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you there.
They just are way over their skis right now. So
they're still arguing about the last time they lost to the Bills.
Here's the problem.
Still
with
complaining
the Chiefs,
about that call.
Before we go in, and we'll do a short segment on the Polynesian Bowl. Is they feel like they're entitled to win because they have Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
And Patrick Mahomes is starting to play like that. Like, arguing calls and stuff.
Like that last Bills game. Like the amount of that was new ground for Mahomes.
And it's frustrating because I think Patrick Mahomes he's young enough. He feels it's the opportunity to win. And, and I like Travis Kelce. I just think that he has too many distractions. You can tell in his play this year. And then it's frustrating when you have guys that drop balls. Like, you're a professional. Yeah. I guess you can make excuses because you're here in Nebraska, and I don't give them excuses here. High school, sure, because you don't have the skill set. You're a professional athlete playing with Patrick Mahomes, so you're playing with the best of the best, and you lead the league in drops. Their wide receiver coach is gone,
and
it's not even his fault. These dudes should be catching the ball. So with that being said, still it's going to be Bill's role today, hopefully big. But we're going to take a quick break. Jay Foreman, Advanced Medical Imaging, Inside the Huddle. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
A lot of people in the summertime think, gee, I want to build a new home. By the time they go through the process of sitting down, getting the permits, and getting the home started, the home isn't done until January or February.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, and they've built neighborhoods in and around Lincoln for over 25 years.
I think the best time to start designing your new home is the month of January, because get an early start on it. Sit down, the snow's flying, let's sit around the table, let's drop some plans, let's put numbers together, let's get a budget put together, and let's get that thing started so that the home's done in summer or fall before school starts. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
Blaine's Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
People always ask, what are Jake and Sip like when they're off the air? Well, the answer probably won't surprise you.
Hey, Jake, your Honda's looking a little dirty.
Says the guy whose license plate is barely visible.
I mean, do you even care about that thing anymore?
It gets a little uncomfortable. Now, that's when I jump in.
Hey, whoa. Mark, did you get a new car?
Nope, just took my car down to Nebraska Auto Detail. Joe and the staff made the outside and the inside look amazing. Maybe you guys need to go.
Okay, wise guy.
Settle down, Jake.
Book your appointment today at NebraskaAutoDetail.com.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
So he can maybe run.
So like speed option, those things. All you want to do.
Speed. I can't see him.
It's also. Oh, it's.
Uh-oh.
Look what you did. Look what you did. Look at Bill.
Down.
Come on
Just
now.
calm down.
I don't say anything about semicolons or should there be a
Word
parentheses or
Too many commas over there.
Too many
Come on.
run-on sentences. Don't talk about that. It's not my wheelhouse.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
You're listening to Inside the Huddle with Jay Foreman, sponsored by Advanced Medical Imaging.
Jay Foreman, short segment before we send you off to Pete Ferguson, the ultimate Cowboy fan at 8 o'clock. I won't give him too much, but because I know how it felt. I felt bad for the Cowboys for a second because they played that bad.
Who should you feel worse for, Eagles fans or Cowboys fans?
No, the Cowboys fans, because they're bad. I don't like Eagles fans.
For me, the Eagles, I've just never seen a team, like you said, that was that good, that just went to the Super Bowl, fall apart so fast.
I feel bad for the Cowboys fans because the whole nation just as soon as that game was over, just clowned every one of them.
But you can expect it as a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
You can build, you have some sort of expectation.
And the Cowboys fans' reactions that you see like on X or whatever, where they're like smashing their TVs is really, really funny. Philly fans do it too, but Philly fans are just stupid. And they've been, even with the 76ers way back when Barkley was there. But big news out of Huskerland is that they had 3 players that are in the 2024 class in the Polynesian Bowl. Dylan Raiola, Carter Nelson, and Big Ben Preston. All of them had impressive showings, and it was a star-studded all-star game like they always are. I mean, you had players from all across the nation. One of the guys that was really, really good, besides the 3 that I just mentioned, was Jordan Ross, who's a edge rusher going to Tennessee. 6'4", 230, 4'5", legit 40. Was giving my man Dylan some problems but the one thing I liked about it is Carter Nelson. He obviously showed. I mean, look, he hasn't had a lot of experience. The one thing that Carter Nelson I think is doing and playing in these games, he's getting some experience playing 11 on 11. He's never played it before, and you can't fault it for him. But he's showing that he is legit. The athletic ability, the ability to make people miss, being physical, the want to. He's had a couple good blocks, even especially in I think the USA Army game. He did well.
Yeah, he had a lot of good physical plays.
Yeah, and he can make people miss, and then he finishes that. That's what you want, right? And then he did the same thing in the Polynesian Bowl, and then Preston was good for a big man, 6'4", 315, legit, carries it well, really quick feet, good, initial set, powerful, playing against good competition. It's the closest thing you're going to get to playing in college. Obviously not Big Ten level, but that's a pretty stacked roster you went against. And then, Dylan did well, for essentially being, the face of this year's Polynesian Bowl, being from there, family history there, well respected and ingrained on that island in Honolulu. You can get spread thin. It's kind of like, where you have like golfers where it's, if Tiger Woods is hosting his tournament, and it's hard to win because you're spread so many different ways, right? And then to go out there and perform, they had a really good coaching staff. I'm sure he soaked up a lot of the information that he, could get from. So I'm talking to Mike Zimmer, and he looked like he really enjoyed playing football, and that's important too. The arm and all that stuff. I think he had a 30, 40-yard completion to Carter Nelson. That's something
about 34 yards.
Yeah, something you're going to get used
and
to.
a good run after the catch.
Right.
Something like Carter Nelson. He's been good noted. I noticed like after the catch, he's pretty good at picking up a few more yards on top.
Right. Yeah. He catches the ball well though. That's the thing. He catches the ball strong, good strong hands. And Dylan, the one thing I liked about, he took some hits, and you're going to get hit, and they were out there playing hard. And he got up right, so that lets you know he wants to play football. So I think the whether it's him, Daniel Kalen, Heinrich Harburg, but also, with Dylan, I think the program's in good hands, and he's got a great opportunity. Give it up to Matt Rule and staff to doing a good job of recruiting those 3 young men, and the other ones, and majority of them are here. I think they have 23 new guys here. And I think those 2 of them will be here, very shortly. So onward or upward, we appreciate your support. We will keep you abreast of when we change times. It will be coming soon. I promise you, trust me. I did not like getting up this early, but thank you to Harrison. This is Jay Foreman, Inside the Huddle, brought to you by Advanced Medical Imaging. We'll holler at you next week.